5 years ago, I prophesied that Trump was going to lose re-election, be defeated, only to win again later. I prophesied this over 5 years ago before Trump even knew who his opponent was going to be. I used the story of Samson to illustrate how he is a pattern of Samson. That is, Trump is a pattern of Samson, and that just as Samson was defeated, he's going to experience defeat. Now, I didn't want to go specific as to how his defeat was going to take place, though I knew it in my mind. I just want to let God to do his work. So are you ready? Let's go and hear this prophecy. Is Trump really a modern day Samson? I was reading the story about Samson and I realized how much Samson and Donald Trump have in common. Let's start off with their hair. Samson had this long hair and people have teased Trump about his hair, haven't they? Also, Samson vowed not to drink any wine. And Trump says he has never drunk any wine, beer, anything like that, similar to Samson. Another thing about Samson, he loved to get revenge on people who attacked him. You see a lot of revenge and anger on Samson's part against any of his enemies. And let's be honest, Trump does not put up with any personal attack. He will attack people just like Samson did. Another thing, Samson had a weakness for women. If there's one weakness that Trump has, it's obviously about women. So we see that in him. But what was one of Samson's greatest triumphs? He took a jawbone of a donkey and killed 1,000 Philistines. It was against insurmountable odds he was able to defeat them. And a jawbone of a donkey speaks of the mouth. With Trump's words, he was able to knock off all the Republican nominees and take the nominee for the Republican Party. And with his words, he was able to knock off Hillary Clinton. Interestingly, the symbol of the Democrat is the donkey. Isn't that interesting? Samson took the jawbone of a donkey and knocked off his enemies. And I find such an incredible coincidence. And in the end, people counted Samson out. He became a slave. He was defeated temporarily, only for God to give him one last moment of victory. And I believe prophetically that will happen with Trump too. There's the prophecy. As you notice, I mentioned that he was going to be defeated even as Samson was defeated, though I didn't want to specify exactly how the defeat of Trump would take place, though I really felt in my heart it would be losing his reelection bid, but only to rise up and win again. And that's exactly what ended up happening. There's some interesting things that also took place after he lost. Trump was blinded, even as Samson lost his eyes. He was blinded to the reality that he had lost the election. And even to this day, he's still blind. He doesn't want to see that he really did lose. And that's what some of you're blinded along with him, because some of you actually think Trump won the previous election against Biden. But no, friend, he lost it. But he was blinded by that, and he made some terrible mistakes. There's something else that happened to Samson. After he was defeated, he was taken as a prisoner. He was arrested. Isn't it interesting? During this time, Trump has been arrested. He's been charged. He's been indicted. Mugshots have been taken of him. And just like Samson was taken as a prisoner, as a convicted person, so has Trump. But despite that, Trump went on to win a great victory. And he did win a big victory last night. So I congratulate him. And all I can say is I'm praying for his success, and you should be praying for him as well.